You know, I was really inspired by NCAP Carr's beautiful toy photography when he featured here on the channel a couple days back for 25 days. So I decided, now that it's snowed out here, I'm gonna try to do some of my very own Carr's toy photography, okay? All right, using one of my favorite holiday cars, Snowplow McQueen. Okay, we're gonna take a beautiful picture of this guy. Ready? Okay, how do we wanna pose him? Let's see. Okay. We're gonna pose him inside. It is way too cold. Okay, you know what? Guys, I don't have the courage for this. I don't have the warm weather gear for this. We're gonna do it in here. Where do we do it? Picture. Wow. All right, guys. Ooh. I was gonna say like in your face, and I was gonna name a famous photographer, but I can't name any. All I can think of is Ken Burns, but that guy does like documentaries. I'm gonna go inside now. I'm really cold. Shout out Unkept Cars, they're much better at this than me. Hello everybody, and welcome to day 16 of 25 days of suggestions 2025. Today, we're gonna be taking a look at quite a thematically appropriate item. This is Ice Racers Vitaly Petrov, a suggestion from Anzio Hall. Thank you so much for your suggestion as always, and if you want to see what tomorrow's review is going to be, make sure to stick around to the end of the video where we will be firing up the old random name picker to see who tomorrow's review will be. Wow, December 16th. Absolutely crazy that we're already less than 10 days until Christmas. That is insane. It's days like this where I kind of wish we could do 25 days of suggestions every day of the year. And that is actually something I've considered before. In the past, I was like, what if I did 365 days of suggestions? And honestly, that would be insane. But you know what? Maybe one day, maybe one year, I'll have to have a lot of free time that year. I don't know. Anyway, Ice Racers Vitaly Petrov is a pretty... Wait, guys, I just realized something. I'm so sorry. I did that whole opening sketch where I went outside in the snow, and I should have brought him instead of Snowplow McQueen. I had a car that was completely thematically appropriate, and I didn't use it. Why didn't I think of that? Okay, I'm sorry. Let's actually talk about this guy now, because this is genuinely a very interesting item. Vitaly Petrov, of course, is one of the Cars 2 international racers who only appears in the non-American cuts of the film. He is in the Russian version of the film. He is the Russian racer. In fact, his original diecast was literally just called Russian Racer, and that was one of the many super chases we got in 2012. And, apparently some of those are coming back next year, which is pretty cool. It's going to be great to have a much easier way to get some of these characters. But Vitaly has actually been a pretty easy to get character for a while now, because he got a release in the Ice Racers line in 2015. I got this item. I think I got it for Christmas or my birthday a few years ago. I forgot. I think it was for Christmas, because I really wanted a variant of the character. You know, Vitaly is one of those cases where there's a car out there who is super, super rare, but then they get a variant later on that's much easier to find, so you just got to settle for the variant. So I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat as me, where they have the Ice Racers Vitaly and not the normal version, because that normal version was a super chase, and the Ice Racers one was much easier to find. It was really nice of Mattel to do that. I love the fact that despite only appearing in international cuts of the movie, all of the other international racers are still canon and appear in additional material. Vitaly hosts the ice race because it's a snowy race that takes place in Russia. And, we see Frosty in a bunch of TROC lines. He got a bunch of diecasts from them. He even appeared in, I think, the Neon Racers book. It's nice to see that these characters do exist beyond those international cuts. Super, super cool. Another super cool thing is just the fact that this exists. It's so nice that we got, this character. They easily could have had Vitaly be in the book and part of the backstory and not receive merchandise, but it was really nice of them to include him as part of the diecast line for the Ice Racers. And he is a pretty solid looking item. Not too much different about him compared to regular Vitaly Petrov, but I certainly don't mind. We've got the Ice Racers Cup logo there on the hood with some writing in Russian. Like all the Ice Racers, he has this very unique white overspray on him, which makes it look like he's covered in sort of a light dusting of snow. He also has some little white snow dots all over the front, and also, like all the Ice Racers, we've got these light blue highlights on him in a few key locations. He is, of course, a repaint of Max Schnell, as were all of the international racers we got, just like in the movie. They all reused Max's body shape, except for a couple, but for the most part, all the ones we got die casts of reuse the body shape. You do have that sort of texturing there with the carbon fiber on the hood. Hard to see because of that overspray. You also don't feel it as much because of the overspray, which does give the car a bit of a slicker feel than what you might be used to with a car's diecast. I believe this expression is the exact same as regular Vitaly, which is a shame because the Ice Racers did start to have some different expressions. Lines like the GRC and Race and Rescue, they spoiled us. Say what you will about those lines, but they spoiled us when it came to facial expressions. Every car in both of those lines had new and exclusive faces. For most of the TROC lines, we were lucky if like 2 or 3 World Grand Prix racers had new faces. The Ice Racers line did a couple, most notably Jeff. But yeah. Moving on to the side, we have this logo, which seems to be some sort of cup or, trophy cup, which is pretty fun. We got the wings on it, a little logo in the middle, and some wrenches. We've got the number 11 for Vitaly here, added on, I believe, exclusively for this race. And you can see some more of that snow detailing. He has completely white wheels and a white base, and then some nice snow detailing here on the sides of the tires. We've got the number 11 on the spoiler. Once again, flipping it around to the back. Really not all that much to see here, but there is some writing. It is all in Russian, so I'm not sure what it says, but wow, they really snuck it on there, didn't they? Is there also... Yeah, they also snuck a logo in there and some more snow detailing. So a lot going on in a very small amount of space on the back of Vitaly. There is a look at the other side. And finally, once again, there is a look at that clean all-white base. Genuinely such a nice item, and one that I'm just really, really happy exists. Easily one of my favorite Ice Racers, but it's probably just because it's a variant of Vitaly Petrov. I mean, come on. Variant of a car whose only other release was the Super Chase. And if you guys know me, you know I love when obscure characters get new variants. Now, funnily enough, this is the second time I've reviewed Ice Racers Vitaly Petrov on the channel. The first time was 25 Days of Suggestions 2020. And you may be wondering, like, Ty, why did you review that for the first time in 25 Days of Suggestions? You said you got it for Christmas or your birthday a couple years back. Why wasn't it an unboxing? I accidentally lost the footage of my original Vitaly Petrov review. It is gone, reduced to atoms. It was deleted. So, yeah, that was a little awkward. Anyway, it's time to run the random name picker for tomorrow. Let's remove Vitaly Petrov from the list and see who's next, guys. We have so many good options. Genuinely, like, such great ones this year. I mean, look at these. Look at how great these are. Not a single weak suggestion this year, guys. You outdid yourselves. You guys got great taste. Let's see who is going to be next. It's going to be, come on, Rusty's McQueen. Okay. All right. That's kind of a classic, but honestly, I mean, a classic now, but one where I can't really remember the last time I reviewed it. So I'm going to have some interesting stuff to say about that. Can we run the, can we see? I'm searching my channel now. When was the last time we reviewed Rusty's McQueen? Whoa, 25 Days of Suggestions 2020, Day 2. So, gonna have some new stuff to say about that guy for sure. Anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.